to manage universal mappings within RStudio. One is through the Compare and Merge utility, and the other would be through the Universal Mappings Editor. We'll start with the Compare and Merge utility. And this way of mapping through the Compare and Merge is available to RStudio repository users as well as those who only use RStudio Data Architect. So in the case that or the example that I'll show here, I'm going to link two entities that are in different logical models. In this e-commerce logical model, I have a phone type entity, and I want to map this to a phone role entity that's in a completely different logical model, specifically this orders logical model. You can see the phone role. These are really the same entities, but they have different names. So I'll begin from the e-commerce logical model. I'm going to go ahead and right-click on the model here and access Compare and Merge. And I'm going to use the second option, Compare against another model in a DM1 file, which allows me to browse out to the orders logical model and use that as the target of comparison. Then I'll go ahead and compare to my customer submodel within orders. Make sure that the tables and column properties are selected. And I'm going to compare all of the entities in the source to all of the entities in the target. Let's run the comparison, and you can see, before we take a look at the phone type, phone role mappings, I'll quickly point out that entities that have the same name are automatically mapped together, such as customer address, and customer phone. But because phone type and phone role have different names, they're not able to be automatically mapped together by the tool. So we'll do a force match. We'll go ahead and left-click on phone type and right-click on phone role, and I'll be able to match these objects. So now phone type and phone role have been matched. Now, I want to save these matchings, so the next time I run the Compare and Merge, they'll be picked up automatically, as well as I'll be able to have documentation that the two entities are the same. To save these matchings, I'll go ahead and make sure this Save Matches is selected. Before I click Finish and save this, though, I'm going to show you the other options for mappings within the Compare and Merge. So not only can you map entities and tables, you can map attributes and columns, as well as views and shapes. So we'll go ahead and finish this. So now we've created a universal mapping between the phone type entity and the phone role entity within two different logical models. To see that, we'll open up the phone type entity, and I'll access the Where Used tab. As you can see, there's a node for universal mappings, and we can see now that the phone role entity in the orders logical model is mapped to the phone type entity in the e-commerce logical model. So again, that's available to users of the RStudio repository as well as users of Data Architect, those who only have Data Architect. You might have also noticed that that was a one-to-one mapping. We were able to create a mapping between, what I mean by one-to-one is one model to another model.